Hello. Shabbat Shalom. Nice to see you. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Agudath Israel Etz Ahayem Synagogue here in Montgomery, Alabama. I am Rabbi Scott Kramer. Welcome to our Kabbalat Shabbat service. We're praying out of Sidor Lev Shalem. And we begin today's service, page 5, with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Continue Psalm 95, page 11. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Naria, Naria, Letzur Yishenu, Nekad Mafana Betoda. Naria, Naria, Letzur Yishenu, Bizmirot Naria Alone. We continue responsively. Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Filled with thanks, let us greet God, raising our voice in song. Great is Adonai, a greater sovereign than all other deities. God's hands formed the earth's deep. Mountain crests too are God's work. The sea is God's, for God made it. Dry land was fashioned by God's hands. Come then, let us bow and kneel. Let us bend our knees in the presence of Adonai who formed us. For Adonai is our God, and we are God's flock, sheep in God's caring hands. If only you would listen today to God's voice and not become hard-hearted like the people at Meribah, like the time at Massah in the desert when your ancestors tried me and tested me, though they had seen what I had wrought. For 40 years I was troubled by that generation, and I said, these are a people whose hearts have gone astray. They do not know my way, so in anger I swore they would not enter my rest. Arba'im shanakut bedor va'omaram toeh levavhem v'hem lo yad rachai asher nishpati v'yapi im yavaon menuchati. Page 13. Ashiru ladonai shir chadash, shiru ladonai kol haaretz, shiru ladonai baruch shemo, basru meyom leyom yeshuato, sapru vagoyim kivodo bechol hamim nifliotav, ki gadol Adonai. O mehulal miyod, no rahu, Hauko Elohim, lai lai lai, Kiko Elohe ha'amim helilim, V'Adonai shamayim asa, Ad ve'adar lefanav, Oz ve'tiferet b'mikdasho, Havul Adonai mishpachot amim, Havul Adonai kavod v'oz, Havul Adonai ke'evod shemaho, Seu mincha, Uvahu lechadzurod of lai lai lai, Shtachavu ladonai, Behadrat kodesh, Chilo mipanav kol haaretz, Imru vagoyim Adonai malach, Avtikum tevel balatimot, Yadinamim b'meisharim, Yismechu hashamayim v'tagil haaretz, Ayiram hayamu melo, Yalo sadai, V'chol asher bo lai lai lai, Az yiranenu kol hatzeyar, Lifnei Adonai kiva, Kiva lishpot haaretz, Yishpot tevel betzedek, V'yamim be'emunato, Yalai la lai 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 lai, Yai lai 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 lai, Yai lai lai lai, Yai lai 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 lai, Yai lai lai lai. We continue page 15 with Psalm 97, Shabbat Shalom to those who came and joined us. Barbara, welcome back. Would you like to lead us responsibly, please? Clouds and thick darkness surround the divine. Righteousness and justice secure God's throne. Fire goes before God, consuming besiegers round about.
Flashes of lightning illumine the land. The earth watches and trembles. Mountains melt like wax. At the approach of Adonai, at the approach of the Master of all the earth.
The heavens tell of God's righteousness, and all the nations see God's glory.
Worshippers of idols be shamed for praising false gods. All that is deemed supreme bow before God.
Zion hears of it and rejoices. The cities of Judah exalt as you, Adonai, pass judgment.
You, Adonai, are above all that is earthly, exalted over all that is worshipped as divine.
Those who love Adonai hate evil. God protects the lives of the faithful, saving them from the hands of the sinful.
Mighty sun for the righteous and joy for the upright. Rejoice in Adonai, righteous people. And thank God as you pronounce the divine holy name.
Or Zarula Tzadik Ulisrelev Simcha, Simchu Tzadikim Badunai, Vahodu Lezecher Kadisho. Thank you very much, Barbara. Page 17. Mizmor Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash Ki Neflo Tasa Oshia Lo Yimino Ozaro Wako Adia Adonai Yeshuato Leena Goyim Gilad Sid Kato Zachar Chasta Ve'emunato Levei Yisrael Ra'u Cholav Se'aretz Et Yeshuat Eloheinu Horiu Ladonai Kol Haaretz Pitzchum Veranenu Vizameru Zamru Ladonai Bechinar Bechinar V'kol Zimera Bechatzot Rod V'kol Shofar Horiu Lifnei HaMelech Adonai Yiramayam Eloho Tevel V'yoshveva Neharot Yimcha Uchaf Yachad Arim Yiranenu Lifnei Adonai Kiva Lishpot Haaretz Yishpot Tevel B'tzedek V'yamim b'meisharim Yalai lalai 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 Yalai lalai lalai Yalai lalai 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 Yalai lalai lalai lai 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 Yai lai 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 Yalai lalai lalai lai Yalai lalai lalai lai 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 Yai lai 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 lai. We continue page 19 responsibly. Amanda, would you like to lead us? I know you love it. Adonai is great in Zion above all nations. They shall acknowledge your name, saying, Great, all-inspiring Holy One.
Exalted strength lies in the love of justice, and you forge the path of truth, judging Jacob righteously and justly.
Exalt Adonai our God, bow down before God, the Holy One.
Moses and Aaron among God's priests, and Samuel among those who call upon the divine name. Call to you, and you answer them. You spoke to them against the cloud, and you kept your covenant and the warned people. You answered them, Adonai our God, and you were a forgiving God to them, even as you punished them for their transgression.
Exalt Adonai our God and bow down at God's holy mountain, for Adonai our God is holy. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lahar kadishohu ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Thank you very much, Amanda. Page 21. We rise for Psalm 29. Mizmor leDavid, havu ladonai b'nei elim, havu ladonai kavod vos, havu ladonai kavod shemo, ishtachavu ladonai behadrat kodesh, kol Adonai al hamayim, ela kavod hirim Adonai omayim rabim. Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai be'adar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vaishaber Adonai et al ze halvanon, Vayarkidem kemo egel, Lebanon v'Sirion kemo ven re'emim. Kol Adonai chotzev lavotesh. Kol Adonai yachil midbar. Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh. Kol Adonai yecholel ayalot. Vayechesop yaharod. Uvehechalo kulo omer kavod. Adonai lamabul yashav. Yeshev Adonai melech leolam. Adonai oz li'amo yiten. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. You may be seated. We continue with Lechadodi, page 23. Lechadodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nikabila. Lechadodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nikabila. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Hishmianu elam yuchad. Adonai echad u'shamo echad. L'shem u'tiferet v'litila lecha dodi lekrat kala B'nei Shabbat nikabila. Lekrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mikor abiracha merosh mikedem nesucha. Sov maseh b'machshvat chila lecha dodi lekrat kala B'nei Shabbat nikabila. Mikdash melech ir melucha. Kumitzi mitocha hafecha ravlach shevet b'yemek habacha. V'hu yachamohu alaychem la lecha dodi lekrat kala B'nei Shabbat nikabila. We turn to page 25. We rise for the last stanza of Lechadodi and we face west to greet the Shabbat bride. Boi v'shalom materet bala, gam b'simcha uvetzala, tochem munei am segula. Boi chala lecha dodi lekrat kala B'nei Shabbat nikabila. You may be seated. We continue page 27 with Psalm 92. A psalm, the song of the day of Shabbat. It is good to thank you, Adonai, and sing to your name most high, to proclaim your love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. You gladden me with your deeds, Adonai, and I shall sing of your handiwork. The arrogant do not understand, the fool does not comprehend this. The wicked flourish like grass, and every evildoer blossoms only to be destroyed forever. Surely your enemies, Adonai, surely your enemies will perish. All who commit evil will be scattered. As my enemies gather against me, my gaze remains steady, for my ears listen and hear.
The righteous flourish like the date palm, thrive like the cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in our God's court.
In old age they remain fruitful, still fresh and bountiful, proclaiming Adonai is upright, my rock in whom there is no flaw. Tzadik tamar yifrach ki erez balvanon ki iske shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. Od yinuvun beseva, deshenim verananim yeyu lehag Ki yasher Adonai tzuri v'lo avlatabo. Page 29, Psalm 93. Adonai is sovereign, robed in splendor, girded in strength. The earth stands firm, not to be dislodged. From earliest time you were enthroned. You are eternal.
The rivers rise up, Adonai. The rivers rise up their roar. The rivers rise up their waves. Above the roar of the vast and majestic breakers of the ocean, Adonai stands supreme in the heavens.
In your house, beautiful in its holiness, your testimonies endure, Adonai, for all time. So again, once again, Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to everyone. This week we begin a new book of the Torah, the fourth book of the Torah, which is called Bamidbar in Hebrew, or Numbers. The books of the Torah are interesting. In Hebrew are usually taken from a word in the first two lines of the book. And usually has no relevance to the entire book. Vayikra, or Leviticus, is a perfect example. Vayikra means, and he called. This is the very first word of the book of Leviticus. It is only referring to the fact that Moses is called by God at the beginning of the book. Nothing of Kohanim or Levites or sacrifices can be deduced from the name Vayikra. In Greek, however, the names are thematic. Leviticus is what Vayikra is called in Greek and comes from the name Levi, as in the tribe of Levi, from which the priests and the priest helpers come from. And this book details the profession of the Kohanim and Levites. Our book, the fourth book of the Torah, is called Bamidbar in Hebrew. Bamidbar is taken, as is custom, from a word in the first sentence of the book and describes the book thematically as well. In Greek, however, the name is Numbers, which does not reflect a thematic title, but only the first subject of this book, that of Moses taking a census to find out the number of the Israelites. So right at the beginning, the names of the heads of the tribes are mentioned, and one name stands out as being a hero in the Midrash, that of Nachshon ben Aminadav. Nachshon ben Aminadav does not appear but a handful of times in the Torah. In Exodus, he is mentioned as the brother of Elisheva, who married Aaron, Moses' brother. According to Chronicles, which is the last book of the entire Torah, he is the ancestor of Boaz, who marries Ruth and whose grandchild is King David. All the other times he is mentioned, aside from the discussions of lineage, is as one who offers inaugural sacrifices for his tribe, that of Judah. The author of the Midrash, a compilation of ancient commentary on the Torah, who has a keen eye for ambiguities and contradiction and for repetition, makes the assumption that no person mentioned in the Torah no one is mentioned in the Torah except for an important reason. Well, being the brother of Aaron's wife and the ancestor of King David seem important enough, but for some reason the Midrashist is not satisfied and must give him one more important function. When the Israelites were at the Sea of Reeds, with the sea in front of them and the Egyptians hot on their trail behind them, things looked pretty bleak. All Moses could do was raise his hands to heaven and plead to God for help. The Israelites looked at the water, and no one wanted to enter this dangerous river. As Moses was praying, and all the tribes contending with each other to see who would enter the water first, Nachshon ben Aminadav enters the water. He goes right into the water and nothing happens. So he goes further out and the water is up to his hips and nothing happens. Then he goes even further, the water is up to his chest, and again, nothing happens. He continues to walk, and as the water reaches his mouth, the waters begin to part. God is at this time angry for Moses for sitting there praying. God says, "Why are you sitting here praying? Go into the sea." Nachshon had the right idea in just trusting in God and taking charge at this crucial time. When it came time for direct action, Nachshon provided the proper leadership and followed his heart rather than his brain. How many of us have that faith to follow our hearts rather than our brains? How many of us have the faith to do what's right in the face of insurmountable odds? What makes a person do something at one moment and that every other moment he would not even consider doing? When does someone set aside his pride or his dignity or conventional wisdom and do what his heart tells him is the right thing to do? Some who only seek adventure in their lives, who think of themselves as above it all, won't even do mundane things in life as being beneath their dignity or pride. The Kohen or priest in the temple begins the day by removing the ashes to illustrate the importance of his remaining involved with the mundane. Too often those who rise to important lofty positions separate themselves from the people and withdraw from the everyday menial tasks. The Torah, through the laws of Terumat Deshen, the removal of the ashes, insists it shouldn't be this way. And a story reflects this point. A few years ago, a husband and wife appeared before Rabbi Gifter, the Rosh Yeshiva of Telz, asking him to rule on a family dispute. The husband, a member of Rabbi Gifter's Kollel, an all-day Torah learning program, felt that as one who studied Torah, it was beneath his dignity to take out the garbage. His wife felt otherwise. Rabbi Gifter concluded that while the husband should in fact help his wife, he had no legal religious obligations to remove the refuse. The next morning before the early services, the Rosh Yeshiva knocked at the door of the young couple. Startled, the young man asked Rabbi Gifter in. "No," responded Rabbi Gifter, "I'm not here to socialize, but I'm here to take out your garbage. You may believe it's beneath your dignity, but it's not beneath mine." It all comes down to how we make choices in our lives to do something or do nothing. These choices usually involve mundane things, but occasionally they are momentous choices, like what faced Nachshon ben Aminadav. But usually these choices involve what the husband faced. How do we make decisions in our lives as appropriate action or inaction? Would we rather talk about someone's troubles and actually help them? Do we remain silent when a person that we know is getting talked about in negative ways? Do we look for ways to get out of donating our hard-earned money to worthy causes? Every choice that we face is not like what faced Nachshon. But then again, what do we know? How do we know that? Maybe the choice to do something mundane is indeed just like the choice that faced Nachshon. Who can say what ramifications doing something mundane, yet charitable or kind, can have? I believe that Rabbi Gifter's act was no less important an act as that of Nachshon. You don't have to wade out into the water until it parts. Start simple. Just take out the trash. Shabbat Shalom. We will continue our service with Ma'ariv. Page 39a, we rise for the Baruch Hu, the call to worship. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai Barach Le'olam Vaed. You may be seated. Baruch Atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tzavaot is your name, living and ever-present God. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch Atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk. Page Umahavir Yom Mevi Laila Mavdil Ben Yom Vein Laila Adonai Tzavaot Shemo El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Yimlo Cholenu L'Olam Voed Baruch Atah Adonai Hamari Varavim. Page 40. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amchavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shachveinu v'kumeinu nesiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha Le'olam voed ki hem chayenu v'orech yameinu uvahem nege yomam v'layla v'yovatcha tasim mimenu la'olamin Baruch Atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. V'yahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ho'ele Asher Anochi Mitzavecha Hayom Al Levavecha V'shinanetam Levanecha V'dibarta Bam V'shivtecha B'veitecha Uvlechtecha V'derech Uv'shachbecha V'kamecha Ukshartam Liot Al Yadecha V'hayu Latotafot Beinecha Uchtabnam Nam Zuzot Beitecha Uvish arech havayim shamo tishmeu. Vayomer Adonai Moshe lemor daber el bnei Yisrael v'amarta lehem v'yasu lehem tzitzit al kanfei vigdehem ledoratam v'natnu al tzitzit hakana petil techelet v'haya lachem letzitzit Oritem oto uschartem et kol mitzvot Adonai va'asitem otam v'lo tatu racharei l'vavchem v'yacharei nechem asher temzonim achareihem leman dizgaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kadoshim le'elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etechem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 43a. This is our enduring affirmation binding on us that Adonai is our God and there is none other, and we, Israel, are God's people. God is our sovereign, redeeming us from earthly rulers, delivering us from the hand of all tyrants, bringing judgment upon our oppressors, and just retribution upon all our mortal enemies, performing wonders beyond understanding and marvels beyond all reckoning. God places us among the living, not allowing our steps to falter, and leads us past the false altars of our enemies, exalting us above all those who hate us. Adonai avenged us with miracles before Pharaoh offered signs and wonders in the land of Egypt. God brought Israel from its midst to lasting freedom and led them through the divided water of the Sea of Reeds. As their pursuers and enemies drowned in the depths, God's children beheld the power of the divine. They praised and acknowledged God's name. Page 44. Umalchuto b'ratzon ki b'leihem Moshe u'Miriam u'vnei Yisrael chanishira b'simcha rabba v'yameru chulam mi chamahocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamahocha nedor b'kodesh nahora tehilot o seifele malchutecha u'vnecha bo kiyam lifnei Moshe zeli anu v'yameru Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed v'ne'emar kivad Adonai et Yaakov ugolod mirachazak mimenu baruch et Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Page 45. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Shamim. Ushmotzeitenu vein l'chaim u'shalom yata v'yad olam u'frohosan l'nuskat shlomecha baruch et Adonai haboret sukat shalom aleinu v'yal kol amo Yisrael v'yal Yerushalayim. We rise for Vishamru, page 46. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam barit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam barit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam barit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim v'et ha'aretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam barit olam. Uvayom hashvi shavat vayinafash shavat vayinafash shavat vayinafash v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledoratam barit olam. We continue with the silent Amidah, pages 47 through 52. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atau melech adon lechol shalom. Ki atau melech adon lechol shalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. Tasim leolam. We rise, page 56, as the ark is open for Elena. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol latekdu laliotse b'reshit shelo asana kuguye aratzot V'lo samanu k'mishmachot ha'adama Shelo sam chelkeinu kahem V'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim L'fnei melech malchei hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shehu notei shamayim v'yosed haaretz Moshe v'yikara b'shamayim imal V'shchinatu zo b'gavei meromim Hu Eloheinu einod Emet malkeinu evazulato Kakatu b'torato V'yadatayom v'ashivota Elevavecha Ki Adonai Elohim B'shamayim imal V'al haaretz mitachat Einod al kein Nikvach Adonai Elohim U'lirot me'b'tikach Gagadu b'toratecha Adonai mloch le'lam vo'ed v'ne'emar V'haya Adonai l'melech al kol ha'aretz V'yom ha'hu yeh Adonai echad U'shemo Echad. You may be seated. This week we will observe yahrzeits for Bobby Feldman, Sigmund Halban, Ruth Pia, Fanny Silverman Schofman, Revka Bonfeld, Samuel Lee Kramer, Esther Mendel, Jake Siegel, Jeanette Kapoya, Levi Ben Delfino, Margaret Rothschild Kling, Pauline Merenstein Davidson, Anthony Moscow Jr., Clarice Spiegler, Allegra Cohen, Annie Smith, Elizabeth Turner, Albert Goldfinger, Nace Allen, and Adolph Miller. Those observing yahrzeit and those who mourn, please rise, page 58, and join me for the Kaddish Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, bi'oma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon v'mechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael ba'agalav izman kariv imahu amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach le'olam olmel maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei kudisham barichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechamata da'amiran bi'alma v'imahu amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imahu amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imahu amen. You may all be seated. Thank you very much for joining me for our Kabbalat Shabbat this evening. Services will continue tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. We've got a pretty busy week ahead. The Alabama Community Virtual Havdalah will observe the end of Shabbat via Zoom tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. I sent a letter to our group today that we will be transitioning our Havdalah event to once a month. Rabbi Steve and I are going to take a break, and Charles Barron is going to take over the Havdalah group, and he's going to, I believe he said the first Saturday of every month, he's going to, he'll call together a Zoom meeting for this group. And I'm asking everyone to, we're trying to figure out how to get my email list to him. It is not an easy thing to do. So if you don't mind, for those that are interested, send him your name and email address so he can include that in the weekly, now monthly invitation. And let's see. Monday, we have our services Monday morning at 7:15 with breakfast following. Monday evening, there's a congregational meeting at 5 p.m. To vote on the new interim rabbi, Zari Sussman. The next holiday of Shavuot begins Tuesday night. It's a 2-day holiday, so there'll be services Tuesday night at 6, Wednesday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Next Saturday, we are having a baby naming for Tyler and Tyler's Sexton twin girls. So I'd love to get a minyan here on Saturday morning, so we have so we can read Torah and do a nice ceremony for them and their big family now. So so please come. That's next Saturday morning, not tomorrow, but next Saturday morning. And Barbara, do you have anything to add?
Well, one thing,
Good Shabbos, everyone. I just wanted to let you know that we will be honoring Rabbi Kramer at a retirement dinner July the 26th following services. So you will receive an invitation, and I hope all of you can join us. And please keep the hostages in your heart and pray for peace. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you very much. Bobby Siegel's going to be our MC for my retirement. He actually was the MC for my installation 18 years ago, and I guarantee he'll be as funny this time. So thank you very much. With that, we will go ahead and complete our service, page 211, with Adon Olam. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra li'ed nasa v'chefso kol, azai melech shemo nikra, azai melech shemo nikra, v'yacharei kichlot hakol leva, ado yimloch nora, Vehu aya, vehu ove, vehu yeh betifara, vehu yeh betifara, vehu echad v'ein sheni laham, shelo lehachbira, beli reshit, beli tachlit, velo ha'oz v'hamisra, velo ha'oz v'hamisra, Vehu eli v'chai go'ali v'tzor chevli b'yetzara Vehu nisi umanosli menat kosi b'yom mekra menat kosi b'yom mekra b'yado afkid ruchi b'yet ishan v'ya'ira v'imaruchi Giviati Adonai li velo ira Adonai li velo ira Shabbat Shalom.